Hey, how's it going, guys? Bitcoin, Ethereum, and entire cryptocurrency market is on the move. We officially reached a new year-to-date high. In this video, we will take a look at my cryptocurrency portfolio. We will try to identify what is a better cryptocurrency, Bitcoin or Ethereum, and also Samson now will explain his Bitcoin outlook for 2020 and beyond. First and foremost, let's take a look what the hell is going on the coinmarketcap.com. Bitcoin as the most dominant cryptocurrency surpasses $9,600 a coin. Ethereum, second most dominant cryptocurrency, reaches new year-to-date high slightly over $200 a coin. Bitcoin Cash is on the move, it's up 13% today, and it also reached new year-to-date high, surpassing $430 a coin. Bitcoin SV is right behind it. It's currently $1.6 billion worth less than Bitcoin Cash. If Bitcoin SV price continues to progress in this aggressive manner, then Fiktoshi will surpass Roger Ver. Roger Ver will be a sad boy. Bitcoin is up today by more than 5% and it's currently trading around $9,600 at the time of this video. The highest price in 2018 Bitcoin reached was close to $14,000. Since then, we have seen Bitcoin price going down for entire 6 months and declining all the way to $6,500. That's more than 50% drop from 2019 annual high. While the Bitcoin price was declining, it was forming a downtrend channel. Now we can say with confidence that we are no longer in that channel. We broke out. It looks like Bitcoin will continue to increase, especially considering the fact that Bitcoin halving reward is just a few months away. I'm kind of excited to see how this Bitcoin halving reward will play out. Very curious to see where Bitcoin is going to be by the end of this year and beyond. Bitcoin is king without a doubt. Will there ever be an altcoin that can surpass Bitcoin in market capitalization? Let's take a look what Samson, a CSO at the Blockstream, has to say about it.
Many people in the industry are saying that Bitcoin was a good start for cryptocurrency, but it will eventually be replaced by better cryptocurrencies which will be faster, more scalable, more efficient. What is your response to these kind of statements?
I think that's ridiculous. Bitcoin is the alpha and the omega. It's the beginning and the end. I think some people have taken an interesting journey and they've thought to themselves that something better will replace it, but that's not really possible because what Bitcoin is censorship-resistant money, and no one else can replicate that. Bitcoin was born from nothing. It had a virgin birth, whereas all these other projects, there's somebody behind it, somebody creating it, or there's a company or a foundation somewhere. So they're all able to be controlled in some way if someone wanted to control it. But nobody can control Bitcoin, so it is never going to be replaceable. And the arguments about faster transactions, well, that only matters if it's a payment system, but Bitcoin is not a payment system. The Lightning Network is a payment system, and that's built on top of Bitcoin. And we have systems like Liquid Network sitting on top of Bitcoin as well that allow for faster transfers. But in general, sidechains can help to expand Bitcoin too by adding specialized layers for different purposes. So Bitcoin can ultimately do everything. There's nothing Bitcoin can't do that other projects can do.
I totally agree with Samson that Bitcoin is very special. Bitcoin is censorship resistant and most decentralized cryptocurrency in the world. And why is that? Well, first, we do not know who or what created Bitcoin besides the name Satoshi Nakamoto. We do not know what that group of people or person or alien is. And it's very good for Bitcoin that we do not know that. Because there is no one to control it. There is no one to take charge. There is no one to lead the way. Just think about this. In nowadays, how can someone create an altcoin anonymously and gain all the network effect that Bitcoin has? Considering the fact that currently we have more than 2,000 altcoins out there. Competition is very high. When Bitcoin was created, it was no competition, because Bitcoin was the first and very unique. So I do not know if there ever be flippening, but Bitcoin fundamentally is unreplaceable indeed. Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Which one is better?
But for example, Ethereum can be used to build smart contracts on top of it. That's something that Bitcoin cannot do, and I don't think that anybody can control Ethereum because it's also...
Ethereum is controllable by Vitalik and his cronies, right? They can roll it back. We saw that with the DAO hack. When the Ethereum was hacked, they just said, okay, we're rolling it back. And that's why we have ETC, which is proof that Ethereum was changed. I mean, you can do smart contracts in Ethereum, but you can also do smart contracts in Bitcoin. It's just that they've marketed smart contracts more aggressively, so people think, okay, Ethereum is synonymous with smart contracting, but they create a complex system to create this smart contract that really does one thing, which is create a token. That's really all Ethereum smart contracts are for, to create a token. And you could do that on the Liquid network, and if you really wanted to create a smart contract, you can also do that with Bitcoin, but you wouldn't build the logic of the smart contract into the Bitcoin smart contract. The Bitcoin smart contract would just do the payout of the result of the smart contract, whereas Ethereum wants to incorporate that smart contract in. But what that does is it makes them unscalable, because every instance of Ethereum now has to run that smart contract. Everyone has to store that smart contract. So they kind of convert it into like a storage mechanism, which shows like they're hitting their limits. Even just processing Tether transactions, they're bottlenecked and expensive because they can't handle it. So there's no way they can do what they purported to do.
Next year, the second largest cryptocurrency, Ethereum, will try to test a transition towards a proof-of-stake system. And also Cardano, which is also quite a large cryptocurrency, is going to make its own POS system public, upgrading it. Still, you said that proof-of-stake is a joke.
Yeah.
So why do you think these big cryptocurrencies are switching into it if it's so unvaluable?
Because I think a lot of people don't understand what proof of stake is. Proof of stake is trying to derive security just by software in and of itself, whereas proof of work consumes energy to derive the security. So if you take the example I gave, you have a pot of water, and in the water you put a chunk of gold, and you boil the water. That's proof of work. So the water is boiling, so you can't put your hand in to fish out the gold. That is the security. And when these proof of work coins like Ethereum say they're going to transition to proof of stake, it means they want to stop boiling the water and build something to put over the pot to collect the steam, and then use that steam to reheat the water to generate security again. But as you know, the law of thermodynamics wouldn't allow that, right? You'll have heat dissipation. It doesn't work. But all these proof of stake systems are just very, very complex systems that hide the trade-offs under a layer of complexity, and it doesn't work ultimately.
When I look at the Bitcoin, I see many similarities with gold. It's more a store of value system than some sort of utility system. Ethereum is different. For Ethereum to be valuable, it has to have a use case. Ethereum by far the main leader in DeFi world. Samson makes a very interesting point comparing proof of work versus proof of stake. Yes, proof of work is more secure system, but I'm not too sure if I agreed with his analogy. I think comparing Bitcoin to Ethereum is like comparing apples to oranges. Anyway, let's take a closer look at my cryptocurrency portfolio. I have a number of different online wallets with some small amount of cryptocurrency in it. And then I have my main wallet, which is offline cold storage wallet. 2/3 or 66% of my portfolio is indeed in Bitcoin, as I believe Bitcoin is the most secure cryptocurrency out there with high upside potential. 26% of my portfolio is in Ethereum, as I believe ETH has a higher upside potential than Bitcoin, but it's less secure and more risky. Bitcoin is currently 50% from its all-time high, which was $20,000 in December 2017. Ethereum, on the other hand, is only 14% from its all-time high, which was over $1,400 a coin at the same time, December 2017. Which means if ETH reaches its new all-time high, it will be 7x return on your investment. Another 8% of my portfolio is distributed throughout a number of different altcoins, such as Litecoin, XRP, and Bitcoin Cash. Currently, I really like Bitcoin Cash. I noticed that when cryptocurrency market is up, Bitcoin Cash usually one of the cryptocurrencies with a higher gain in terms of percentage, such as today. Most of the cryptocurrencies is up in the single digits, while Bitcoin Cash is up double digits. In my online wallets, I also have a bunch of experimental altcoins that I do not really pay attention to. And I would suggest you to do the same thing. Most of your cryptocurrency should be offline on a hardware wallet, and those altcoins that you do not really care about, you can leave them online. Bitcoin outlook for 2020 and beyond.
What is your Bitcoin outlook for 2020 in terms of price?
It's hard to say. I've made some price predictions in the past. I didn't always hit it, but I hit like the 1,000 mark, I hit the 3,000 mark, I predicted 6,000. But next year, it's hard to say. I think within the next 5 years, we'll pass 100K, but Bitcoin is very volatile. There is not a lot of market depth to it, right? It's still very small. It's still billions of dollars. So people can move the market just with a couple $100 million. So like people like to analyze it, do technical analysis, but the reality is Bitcoin is too small for that, and it's hard to predict accurately what's going to happen. But I think on a longer time frame, 5 years, we'll pass 100K, we'll pass 250K, and eventually it'll get to millions. Because if you look at it, what Bitcoin is going after is gold. We're looking to replace that 7.5 or $8 trillion market cap of gold with a superior asset, which is Bitcoin, right? It's digital gold. You have the same scarcity, well, even more scarcity than gold, ease of transfer, ease of improved privacy, storage, you don't have demurrage. So it's like better than gold in every dimension. So there's no reason why Bitcoin can't surpass gold. And if it does surpass gold, that is about 250K per Bitcoin.
Samson Mo believes that Bitcoin will surpass $100,000 in the next 5 years, which means Bitcoin is going to be at least 100K sometimes before 2025. I think, to be honest, it's a very generous prediction. But if Bitcoin would reach 100K in next 5 years, I would still be happy. It means it would increase 10x from today's slightly below $10,000 price. Look, if Bitcoin would surpass $100,000 in the next 5 years, it means it would generate more than 60% compounded rate per annum on average. 60% is huge. In stock market, the compound rate for the past 100 years was around 9% annually on average. If Bitcoin can pull that off, it would be without a doubt the best performing asset in the next few years, just like it was the best performing asset for the past decade. Let me know what do you guys think about Bitcoin versus Ethereum and Bitcoin $100,000 price in 5 years. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, hit that like button and subscribe.